Morning, and welcome back. We've got 4 games on the schedule tonight. It's a Monday, which means if you're a patron at the $5 level or higher, we're doing the live stream thing today, and I'm planning on doing it at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, which would be right around when the second period gets started in 3 games. That's a fun time to watch some hockey and chat about it as well. And there are going to be 4 pretty interesting games tonight, and some teams playing that need to get out of the doldrums, so to speak. So first game up is Edmonton in against Toronto. So the Edmonton Oilers, 22-17-5. They seem to be pulling themselves out of a bit of a slump. They're 4-5-1 in their last 10, though. On the road, they're 12-9-2. Now, on the other side of the coin, you have Toronto, who are 24-14-5. Their last 10, they're 9-0-1. There's a lot of excitement about the way Toronto's been playing, and there are those as well saying that the way that they're playing, they're not going to win a Stanley Cup, yada, yada, yada. I say as long as they get there, they're in the running. Home record is 11-4-5, and I thought this past year's playoffs showed that as long as you make the playoffs, you're absolutely, a team that could at least win a round and maybe go further. So if Toronto could do that, then people will plan the parade. Planning it now. And I don't blame them. It's been since 1967, right? So, scoring over their last 10 games. On the Edmonton side of things, McDavid has 3 goals and 5 assists. Draisaitl, 4 goals and 6 assists. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 3 goals and 4 helpers. Chason, 1 goal, 1 assist. Archibald, 2 goals and 3 assists. On the blue line, Klefbom, a goal and 3 helpers. Ethan Bear with 4 assists. In net, Smith 1-1-1 with a .904 save percentage. Koskinen's 3-4 with a .905 save percentage. The goaltending has been inconsistent, and they've been inconsistent overall. And we'll see if they can go in and defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs for the first time anybody's done that in a while. On the Toronto side of things, Matthews 9 goals, 8 assists. He's been pretty good over their last 10 games. Marner, 6 goals, 10 assists, not bad either. And Nylander, 8 goals, 7 assists. Tavares, 3 goals, 8 assists. The thing with Matthews, Marner, and Nylander is this is a hot streak for them. And at some point it's going to cool off. And then it's going to be up to the depth guys to keep things going. Engvall stands out with 5 goals and 2 assists as somebody who could absolutely help keep that going. On the blue line, Barry, 1 goal, 8 assists. Dermott, 1 goal, 2 assists. And in net, Freddie Anderson 6-0-1 with a .909 save percentage over their last 10. Hutchinson's 3-0 with a .945 save percentage. It's amazing the difference that deploying him properly has made. That's really what it is. I think with Hutchinson is deploying him differently, and it's putting him into situations where he can succeed. Backup goaltender needs to be playing against teams that backup goaltenders should. And this is something that goes back to even when I started watching hockey. This team is lower in the standings. The backup's going to play that game. That's just kind of how that's always worked. And at some stage recently, I'm not sure if it's an analytics thing or what it is, but some coaches don't seem to do it that way anymore. Next up, Winnipeg. The Jets are in against the Montreal Canadiens. This should be a very entertaining one. I'm wearing a Montreal Canadiens jersey. This, of course, was a throwback they wore some years ago. The Winnipeg Jets are 22-16-4. They're 3-5-2 over their last 10. They have started to struggle, and coming into tonight's action, they're not in a playoff spot. On the road, they're 12-7-2, and I've said, and I'll say it again, I think they're a better team on the road than they are at home. So what'll be interesting is Montreal went in and beat Winnipeg at home. Now this is happening in Montreal. This is the second half of their meetings this year, and we'll see whether or not me wearing a Montreal jersey proves to be true or not, because I usually wear a jersey of a team that I think should win that night. I thought about Toronto, but I thought, Leaf fans will think I'm jinxing them. Montreal fans always think I'm jinxing them when they wear their jersey anyways, or even when I don't. When I don't, it means that secretly I'm jinxing them too. 18-17-7. I've watched them win Stanley Cups. I don't have that power. Over their last 10, they're 3-6-1. And at home, they're 8-9-4. It's been a bit of a struggle for the Montreal Canadiens at home. Even had to double check that number. So that's part of what they need to get going in order to actually overcome the teams ahead of them and get into a playoff spot. It's not going to be easy. Scoring over their last 10, Mark Scheifele with 6 goals, 10 assists for the Winnipeg Jets. Kyle Connor, 8 goals, 4 assists. Blake Wheeler, 6 goals and 7 assists. Patrick Laine, 6 goals and 3 assists. And Nick Ehlers, 3 goals, 5 helpers. On the blue line, Morrissey with 5 assists and Pionk with 11 assists. A lot of that I'm thinking are going to be power play assists, but still he's putting up the points. In net, Hellebuck has started to struggle because he's playing too much. 3-4-2 record with an .887 save percentage over their last 10. Brissois 0-1 with an .875 save percentage. Maybe Winnipeg goes out looking for an upgrade in net. Maybe they need a new backup. Maybe that's where we end up seeing things change for the Winnipeg Jets coming up to the deadline, because they don't seem to have any faith in Brissois. On the Montreal side of things, Tomas Tatar, 5 goals, 2 assists over their last 10. Max Domi, 6 goals, 6 assists. He's on quite a streak lately. Suzuki, 1 goal and 8 assists. Lehkonen, 3 goals, 4 assists. And Danault, 3 goals, 2 assists. If we look at the scoring side of things, Winnipeg's definitely doing better than Montreal. But again, over their last 10, both teams have only won 3. So that means that they're allowing a lot more goals. Or Winnipeg. Now, Weber, 2 goals, 3 assists over their last 10. And Petrie, 3 goals and 6 helpers. So he's been pretty darn good over their last 10 games. Carey Price, 3-5-1 record with an .894 save percentage. So, yeah, I saw a stat this morning on Instagram pointing out that goaltenders that get paid the most are the ones that are allowing the most goals. I would counter with this. Carey Price and Sergei Bobrovsky may be allowing the most goals because they have teams that can't afford to have a 1A, 1B situation like a Boston or St. Louis have. Can't afford to have a goaltender making $3 or $4 million as the backup because of how much money the starter makes. So that's my counter argument to that. But Price does need to play better, but he also needs to play less. Lindgren 0-1 in the one appearance he has with a .943 save percentage. So Price, 3-5-1. .894 save percentage over their last 10. He does need to improve, but he also could use some nights off regularly. He's up to that stage where he probably would benefit from that time off. So yeah, 2 teams with interesting goaltending in this one tonight. Next up, Colorado in against the New York Islanders. This one also starts at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, and then the other game doesn't start until 7:30 my time, 10:30 Eastern. So this one starts way after these ones are done. So Colorado 25-13-4 overall over their last 10. They're 4-5-1. On the road, they're 14-6-2. On the Islanders side of things, 25-12-3 overall. They're also 4-5-1, and at home they're 13-5-2. This is an interesting matchup in that both teams are 4-5-1 in their last 10. They both got similar records, and they can kind of coast off the start of the season that they had. They have an excellent overall record. They don't really have to worry about falling out of a playoff spot at this stage. So it can be understandable if maybe there's mixed results right now, because again, we're into the dog days. That's what January is usually referred to. You'll start hearing that in hockey broadcasts between New Year's and the All-Star break. It's the dog days. And in a couple weeks, it's going to be, well, the All-Star break's coming up. These guys might be thinking about the All-Star break, so they didn't have a good game tonight. But the thing, and people are going to say, no. Yeah, it happens. So, which one of these teams takes advantage of the other tonight? I would think probably the Islanders being at home and having a really good home record, but Colorado, it looks like things are coming together. On their scoring front, McKinnon, 5 goals, 9 assists over their last 10 games. Kadri, 5 goals, 1 assist. Rantanen, 7 goals, 3 assists. Jost with 4 assists. Belmar, 3 goals, 3 assists. 6 points in 10 games is a lot for him. On the blue line, Makar, 1 goal, 5 assists. He seems to be getting it back together. Gerard, 11 helpers for them over their last 10. In net, Grubauer's 2-4-1 with a .902 save percentage. Francouz 2-1 with a .906 save percentage. On the Islanders side of things, Barzal, 3 goals, 4 assists over their last 10 games. Nelson, 4 goals, 4 assists. Cizikas, 4 goals. He's an unsung hero for them. Eberle, 1 goal, 5 assists. And Beauvillier, 1 goal, 4 assists over their last 10. On the blue line, Nick Leddy, 1 goal, 5 assists. Boychuk, 1 goal and 2 assists. In net, Varlamov, 4-2-1 record with a .908 save percentage. He should be the starter now. This rotation thing should be gone for the rest of the year because Grace is 0-3 with an .820 save percentage. Yeah. So, The interesting dynamic here is you have Colorado trying to get Grubauer going, and the Islanders being forced to kind of go with Varlamov as their primary starter because it's quite clear that Greiss is in a funk right now, and it is negatively affecting their overall standing. So we'll see whether or not Varlamov can get his game back on the rails. There's what I'm looking for, ironically. On the rails against Colorado Avalanche, the team that he played for last season. So there's reasons for intrigue in that as well. Next up, and finally, Columbus and LA. Yeah, just the 4 games tonight. Not a big deal. Columbus is 19-15-8. And they're coming off of a frustrating defeat. They're 7-1-2 in their last 10. They're 7-6-6 on the road. So their road record is a source of a lot of overtime losses, and they're in against an LA team that's not bad at home. They're 17-22-4 overall. Over their last 10, they're 4-4-2, and at home they're 11-8-1. And I've said this about LA. They're winning, losing, winning, losing. They're basically making it so they have a 500 record. But losing as many as you win when you're already 5 games below NHL 500 means you're not getting closer to the playoffs. But you're still winning enough games that you're giving some fans some hope. And we'll see if they give their fans some hope tonight against a Columbus team that they've been doing as well as you can under the circumstances. And I'm starting to wonder if we might see a bit of a downturn over the next couple of weeks from them. Because it's hard to keep all that up when you got so many injuries. Nyquist, over their last 10 games, has 2 goals, 6 assists. Dubois, 4 goals and 4 assists for the Blue Jackets. Gerby, 3 goals and 2 helpers since he came up. Not bad. Jenner, 2 goals and 6 assists, and Foligno with 3 assists. And yes, I think Nathan Gerby should be with them for the rest of the season. Werenski, 7 goals, 2 assists on the blue line, and Seth Jones with 7 assists. Merzlikins, he's 2-1 with a .945 save percentage since taking over from Korpisalo. Kivlenich hasn't gotten into a game yet. This might be a spot to throw him in the net because LA, a team that doesn't score a ton of goals. Over their last 10, Iafallo, 3 goals and 6 assists. Kempe has 4 goals, 3 assists. Kopitar has 4 goals and 4 assists. Carter, 3 goals, 4 assists. And Michael Amadio, 1 goal and 2 assists. On the blue line, Drew Doughty with 5 helpers and Hutton with 1 assist. Not a lot of defensemen with points right now for the Kings, but that's been a problem for them all season. In net, Jonathan Quick's 2-3-1 with an .896 save percentage over their last 10. Campbell, 2-1-1 with a .904 save percentage over their last 10. And so LA is going to be looking to get another victory tonight. And for the Columbus Blue Jackets, stop the slide before it starts. I'm thinking a goal or 2 from Nick Foligno would certainly help, as he's one of the few veterans that seems to be healthy right now. But, teams go through this period and in some cases emerge on the other side stronger for it. So we'll see if that's what happens with Columbus and if they can get a step closer to the playoffs, because the teams they're chasing, they're not really playing tonight. They're not chasing Toronto. The Islanders are far enough ahead of them. They're not really chasing the Islanders either. So they can get 2 points closer to Florida and Philly with a win tonight. Let me know your thoughts, your winners, and all that in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video, and as I've been saying lately, it's kind of a popular thing. It's an interesting thing with this channel. The numbers are always better for viewers and subscribers, and everything goes up in January. But as I've been saying, that ad revenue drops. So it's a weird change that happens, but I've always found that January's a very good month for me in terms of views and subscribers, and maybe it's because there's other YouTubers that don't produce as much during January. Anyways, thank you guys so much for all your support. And again, I'm here every day. I will be here every day. And I will talk to you again very soon.